Hello and welcome back everyone to another video, and in this one we'll be setting up the rest of the BOINC cluster, which is 6 more boards. And starting from the top left we have the ROG 64, top center we have the Raspberry Pi 2, uh, and then from there on we have BOINC 5 is listed as the NanoPi M5, and then BOINC 6 is all winner M64. BOINC 7 is all winner M2, and then BOINC 8 is the Karas Vim. I'm going through the upgrade process for all of the boards. These are fresh installs. The ROG 64 and Karas Vim are running Ambient because I couldn't find a decent Fedora build for that, and all the rest of the 4 boards are running Fedora, and yeah. So a lot of people commented in my last video saying, why don't I just give away these boards, which is a good idea on its face value, but the truth is shipping costs for giveaways alone would be enormous, and at that point it's just better for me to buy you new boards. And then if I'm buying you new boards, then again, what's the point of the whole uh, exercise? Like, the point is these boards are lying, and I need them to use. So yeah, this is sort of the way I use them, is to give them away, give their resources away remotely to for different experiments and stuff. um, right, so 3 of them are ARM 32 or V7, and the other are Cortex A53, so ARM V8. So that's sort of the mix we have, and we are mostly running SETI at home on them. I know the recent announcement was that the project is shutting down or temporarily suspended, so I am looking for alternatives, but for the time being, it seems to be working fine. So I'll be there till the last job gets pushed and we'll close later. From that point, we'll see what to do. But for now, yeah, we are setting everything up. This is just upgrading in, I think it's X30, what you guys are seeing, fast forwarded. And from that point on, we actually go back to the regular speed, where we can actually go ahead and um, so yeah, I ran a LS CPU on all of them, so you can see what the CPU configuration is. I might have confused BOINC 5 for BOINC 7 earlier. So BOINC 5 is the all-winner A20 based Banana Pi M1, and the BOINC 7 is the all-winner H3 based NanoPi M1. So different stuff. Um, this point, let's just go ahead and install BOINC on each of them. So we just need the BOINC client. We'll be managing everything else remotely. So just the BOINC client app itself is enough. So it's DNF for all the Fedora doodads, and for the Ambient machines, it's apt apt-get. Well, I don't use apt-get, I just use apt. So apt install BOINC client. Different versions doesn't really matter a whole lot, as far as they are close enough. So all the Fedora ones will be running fairly close, and the Debian ones might be a little bit behind, but not by much. So it should be all right overall. So let's just see them get installed. And almost everyone is done. I think Allwinner A20 is a bit behind, and for some reason, Boeing 7 is like the slowest of them. That's the NanoPi one. I'm not sure if it's the SD card that's doing that or something else, but that's just slow. So I guess let's wait for at least the Boeing 5 one to finish, because that's very close, and then we'll start configuring stuff. Alright, so for all the Fedora machines, we'll have to open up the 314.160 TCP port, because that's where the BOINC GUI interface and remote control actually work. So for all of them, just simply open up the port and then make the change permanent and immediately applicable, so that it doesn't go away in reboots. And once that is done, we just need to set up the password and stuff like that for the GUI. So first we'll do the password. Of course, I'm not going to show everyone what the password is. So yeah, so it's the GUI RPC auth.cfg config file. That's where your password goes in plain text if you want, or a hash. I think either one works. So I'll just go ahead and do that for pretty much every board except for Boeing 7, because that's still long ways ahead. Which actually did just finish. So I'll paste the firewall commands and then also enable the GUI password. Alright, from here on we need to add the remote host list. Now I do manage everything using DNS and host name and stuff like that, so I don't have to manually type in IPs. I have system names instead, so I'll just open up the config file on each machine, so I just can go and paste all the host names at once on all of the machine. So luckily Boeing 7 caught up, so we're not ways behind on that. um, right, the last one. And from there on we can just type in the three hosts that I'm expecting to control these machines over, the Boeing client server. So Scarlet, Fedora Work, and Warden are the three machines that we can log into this Boeing installation on all three of these. So just save that. Depends on which editor you're using. Fedora minimal image does not ship with Nano, and the ambient image does not ship with VI. So no, there's a little bit of discrepancy there, but what else? Um, and once that is done, which is weird because on the Rock 64 image VI worked fine, but on the Crossvim image it doesn't. So just maybe not being built on the Crossvim. And then just enable the BOINC client using system CTL, so that's enabled in system D, and use the now tag so that the service starts immediately. Now here there might be an issue where I think Debian requires a restart and Fedora doesn't. Not super sure on that. So we just have htop running just so you can see, and all of that, how everything else behaves. Again, Fedora installation does not come with htop. So these are the three machines that I had initialized earlier in one of my previous videos. So Boeing 0, Boeing 1, and Boeing 2 were the first set of machines to go up. Actually, Boeing 3 was there as well, but then it crashed or something. The HD card got corrupted. Stories of the embedded world. But now we can just go ahead and log into all the different systems that we have. I don't think the Debian ones will work without a reboot, but again, there we have BOINC 3. I don't think the login will work, and yeah, it doesn't. And then I think I'll just attempt for other machines, and then leave that be for a later date. Uh, and BOINC 4, just log in as usual, and that should just work and give us the option to add newer projects. And there we go. So I will um, do the same for all of the other boards. I'll just have them install htop quickly, and I'll just log into all the other boards one after the other. Now that all the remaining non-Debian installations are enabled, I have gone ahead, logged in, and logged into SETI at home as well. So that project is up and running, except for on the ARM v7 boards, because there is a slight issue where it doesn't really get the architecture correctly, or like the ABI correctly, to be particular about that. So it just fails itself. um, and yeah, let's see. So yeah, the communication gets deferred forever, and if you look at the notices part, it will say that it doesn't really recognize the ABI. Anyway, we are rebooting the Debian boards, and that should enable us to log in. Okay, let's try that again. So BOINC 8, we should now be able to log in, and that works well. So we'll log into SETI at home as well, and now we'll try BOINC 3, which should be also able to log in easily, and that again works as expected. So we'll just go ahead and log into SETI at home. And yeah, that should start taking in projects pretty soon, and then we can go ahead and solve the ARM v7 issue that we were having with the ABI mismatch. So we just simply need to create a cc config.xml file. Here we can override the ABI that BOINC detects versus the correct ABI that's supported in most projects, and that would be the more generic ARM unknown Linux GNU AABI HF, rather than the weirdly named ARM v7 LPC EABI for some reason that Fedora reports. Um, and once that is done, we can restart the BOINC client service, and that should just spring up new jobs on the UI. And that's for BOINC 4. That's the board we just changed, and you can see we have multiple tasks running now. So that's a win, and just go ahead and copy that over on both the um, Allwinner A10 based and the Allwinner H3 based boards, so that we have BOINC running on all of them and getting jobs from SETI at home. Alright, with that being done, we now have a total of 8 boards or 9 boards running BOINC and SETI at home, along with YoYo at home on some boards as well. YoYo at home tends to take a bit more longer to process, so I'm not running them on the slower ones anyway. Yeah, so total of 9 boards. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.